Hello ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Adolescence and welcome back to another video. Thank you all very much for tuning in. And in this video I'm very excited to be sharing with you guys what I consider to be my top 10 favorite fragrances for the fall/autumn of 2015, and this is going to be my niche list. I actually did a designer list, so I'm going to leave an annotation here. Check that one out. I'm also going to leave a link down below in the description section, so if you haven't seen that video, check out my niche list, come back and watch my designer list. I hope you guys really do enjoy both of them. Now these fragrances are a little bit more on the affordable side. Of course, this is a designer list. I even have a fragrance in here that's less than $30, so it just goes to show that you don't need to spend an outrageous or an extravagant amount of money in order to get quality juice and a fragrance that you really like and really enjoy. These are all fragrances that I really enjoy, and I've been eagerly anticipating the fall/autumn season just because this is one of my favorite seasons in which to wear fragrances. The weather gets a little bit colder, it's hoodie weather, sweater weather, and I feel like I can finally bring out my more bold compositions, you know? I feel like in the summer you exhaust your freshies and your citrus fragrances. Here it's time to bring out the tobaccos and the vanillas, and you get the idea. So let's go ahead and get into the list. No honorable mentions. I'm going to start it off with my number 10. So my number 10 of this list is a fragrance that it is a little bit more on the affordable side. It came out a few years back. I've been wearing it now for some time. It's by L'Occitane, and this one is called Eau de Beau. Now this one actually, I think the majority of its reputation stems from the fact that it bears resemblance to a fragrance from the Tom Ford private blend line called Tobacco Vanille. And I think this one has a spicy vanilla. It doesn't have that tobacco overtone, even though you can kind of get like a whisper, like a faint of like a cherry note, which people do associate with a note of tobacco. But in this scent, I think it's more about the spices and the vanilla and the warmth that it sort of brings about. I think it's a phenomenal scent. This next one actually made my list last year of the top 10 of 2014 fragrances. Not a seasonal list, but just of all the fragrances that were released in 2014, this made that list, and I truly think it's a phenomenal scent. This one is actually by Bath & Body Works, and it's called Mahogany Woods. Now, this is part of a collection of fragrances. It's actually 3 fragrances in the collection. It's this one called Whitewater Rush, and a third called Alpine Suede. This is the boldest of the 3, but this is also my favorite of the 3. It has this bourbon vanilla note with like this boozy overtone. I don't know if it's cognac or brandy or whiskey, but it's some sort of like a boozy accord that I get, and it's this spicy vanilla, very much in the same way as Eau de Beau, but something about it just screams autumn and fall. It's an amazing scent. I can't wait to wear it more often. There's a co-worker of mine, we actually work in the same building. He's been wearing it a lot this season. He's actually the one who turned me on to this, so I'm very excited to be wearing this more often this season. Let's go ahead and get into my number 8. My number 8 is a new release. I've actually reviewed this on my channel. This is by Jean Paul Gaultier, and it's called Ultra Mall. I'm really excited to wear Ultra Mall this season just because it is a new release, so I want to spend more time with it. I want to see how it performs in different seasons, but also because it's slightly sweeter than the original, and because the original has been reformulated from what I'm hearing, this one provides better performance, and I definitely do get that from my bottle of the original. And with this one, it has an added pear note. So pear note, it's a little bit sweet. It's actually a little bit sweeter than the original. I think it's great for the fall and autumn, and I have gotten a lot of compliments from it as well. And as far as my number 7, a lot of people call this a clone, and I guess I would have to respectfully agree. I think this one is a clone of Hermes Ambre Narguilé, which is part of the Hermescence line. This one is by a company called L'Herbolario, and the fragrance itself is called Dulce Lisir. Now, this one smells like an apple pie. It really does. It has that sweet, fruity warmth, but it has this vanillic, spicy base to it. Of course, you see spice is a recurring theme in my fall list, right? I love my spicy scents, but this one definitely takes the cake. What an amazing, inexpensive interpretation of the Hermes fragrance. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. And getting into my number 6, this is a fragrance that, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be wearing it as much, although I do plan on wearing it several times this fall. I actually wore this one when I proposed to my now fiance, so I don't want to obscure that memory by wearing it too often. So this one is by Dolce & Gabbana, and it's called The One. Although I am excited to get my hands and my nose on the Eau de Parfum version, some people have said that the performance is a little bit better. Not a lot better than this one, but I love this one. It's a tobacco amber sort of a scent. Really beautiful for the fall season. And of course, for my number 5, you can't make a fall list without including this beauty. This one is by Burberry, and it's called London. This is what many people dub to be the Christmas tree in a bottle, and it has a lot of that, I guess it's fir resin or pine, and it has like a coniferous feel, and it has some spices, and it smells like cinnamon scented potpourri. It's a great scent. It's a blend of different spices and some woodsy elements to it as well. Great scent, absolutely love it. And getting into my number 4, I've actually been liking my tobacco scents this season. I've been wearing a lot of tobacco scents on the niche side, like Tobacco Vanille and Sensei, and I've been wearing, what's another? A Bois d'Ombrie. This one is actually Pure Havane, Angelman Pure Havane by Thierry Mugler. And this is kind of a balmy, sweet, ambery tobacco with some spices, and I think fruity notes thrown into the mix. I love it. There's another one by Wise Guys called Vegas Cologne. It actually smells 95% similar to this one, except it's a little bit sweeter. So if you want a sweeter interpretation of this one, I would go ahead and check that one out. That one is actually like $45, $50, so it's about half price. Then getting into my number 3, this was my number 2 favorite release for 2014, and this one by Bulgari is called Man in Black. I feel like this is the more sophisticated version of Spice Bomb. Spice Bomb is a little bit more playful. This is a little bit more dressed up. It also reminds me a lot of H.I.M. by Hanamori. It's a great spicy woodsy scent. I've gotten a few compliments with it as well, as I have also from the original, but this one is a combination of different peppers and woods, and it definitely has a prominent woodsy base. It's a phenomenal scent. I love wearing this one. And getting into my top 2, my top 2 I knew were going to be in this list before I even set out to compile it. My number 2 by Christian Dior is called Dior Homme Intense. I love this one because it has that lipstick note, and I love the note of iris. It just makes me feel, I guess, a little bit more youthful, but it also has a sophisticated sensual quality to it because of the ambrette and the gourmand nuances that it bears. I think it's a phenomenal scent. I love wearing it. I know I use that adjective a lot, but really, I feel pretty passionately about all of these fragrances, and Dior Homme Intense is no exception. I love this one. Number 2 spot. And of course, coming in at number 1 is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I think I did my top 10 favorite designers of all time, and this made number 1, and of course I have to stick by my guns. I really mean it when I say it. I love wearing this one so much, and I think the fall season is the perfect season in which one could wear this. And this one is from the house of Viktor and Rolf, and it's called Spice Bomb. Now, I like the note of pink pepper that's used in here in combination with the cinnamon and the tobacco and a few other spices that really come together to bring about this sensual yet playful quality to the composition, but it's not juvenile, and that's what I like about it. I think there are a lot of scents out there that are overly sweet, kind of like nausea-inducingly sweet. This one doesn't do that for me. I think that Spice Bomb is a little bit more on the subdued side in terms of how sweet it is, and I think Spice Bomb can also be a misnomer because it's not the biggest amalgamation of spices that I've encountered in my fragrance journey. It's actually kind of rounded out by the pink pepper and the vanilla and some of the other gourmand notes in the base. I love it very, very much. I can't wait to wear it more often in this season, but also in the winter. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. These have been my top 10 favorite fragrances for the fall/autumn of 2015, and this is my designer list. So if you own or have tried any of these scents, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos. So again, everyone, thank you for watching. This has been Steven with another video from Red Essence. We'll see you soon.